YouTube, chicks, get ready.
You know what to do, chicks.
So look at Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth, appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Well, this is awkward, you guys. We might have a Joe on Joe beef. Y'all remember a couple weeks ago when Joe Budden went to the Knicks game and he ran into 50 Cent, who was sitting courtside next to Fat Joe, which then led to them having a conversation about their issues. Now, when Joe Budden told this story on the podcast, he told us he saw Fat Joe at the game, but did not say that they had any interactions with each other.
Here we go, we sit down, cool, we sit there, and ain't nobody sitting in front of me. Yeah. So then Fat Joe comes in with his daughter, and they sit down.
Shout out to Fat Joe.
Shout out to Fat Joe.
Shout out to Joe.
So me and my girl start talking about the Bottega outfit that Fat Joe got on. But in my head, I say, now the last few times I've seen Fat Joe in the garden, he has been directly next to 50 Cent. And I say, wouldn't that be funny? If those are it's only 2 seats left. They right in front of us. Those are the only 2 empty ones. And sure enough, as God would have it, 50 comes in. And my man, I'm in brain freeze right now. Yeah, Eve, shout out to Eve. So I dap Eve, and 50 just sit down, but he don't see me. But his man sees me, but he don't see me. And Fat Joe knows I'm here, but he don't see me. All right, the game started. Yo, we watching. Fuck it. We watching the game now.
I would at least hope that these guys are cordial with each other because both guys are rappers that came up in the same era. Now, if you guys don't know, Fat Joe has a new podcast with Jadakiss. The name of the podcast is very simple and straight to the point. Joe and Jada. There's only 3 episodes out so far, and the best way I can describe it for you guys is a mix of Norwich Drink Champs with Joe Budden podcast. They're going to be talking about music, sports, and everything else in between. On the most recent podcast episode of Joe and Jada, Fat Joe decides to troll Joe Budden and have a little fun with him. If you guys watch or listen to the Joe Budden podcast, you guys know how much Joe loves to shit on broke people. He often refers to 9-to-5 workers as brokies. Sometimes he does it in good fun. Other times he genuinely means it. Well, on today's podcast episode, Fat Joe has a name for people who do not sit courtside.
Go to the Knicks game, they got the Kardashians all front row. Like, New York got a lot of stars. They putting them up a deck now. They ain't just courtside, it's too many.
What was the most expensive ticket for the game? What, 500,000?
I don't know, it was 54,000 a seat the game I went.
I ain't paying 54 a ticket.
Why not?
Well, I've done it.
I could do a lot with 50 grand.
I've paid that much, even more for boxing matches. For me, I'm not going 10th row. I gotta be front row. Cause somebody you don't like, your enemy, gonna come sit right at, you know, we call that the Joe Budden seats. You know, them second row.
I don't even got
You ain't got a hoodie? I gotta sit front row. I'll give you my experience.
What do you call them seats?
The Joe Budden seats. Them shit second row. Perfect example. Him and 50 got some shit, and I'm sitting courtside, and 50 comes
He was
sit.
right behind y'all.
Okay, but he's behind us. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the man had a little something going on with 50, and why God put 50 Cent front row, and he's in like 3rd row? Like, that would bother me if I was Joe Budden's. It happened to me before. But we just squashed
If he didn't bump in the 5th, would he had a nice experience?
You got a good seat, but the problem is you gotta always expect the enemy might come front row.
Yo, what are you,
No,
what are you thinking?
trying to tell you the truth.
The Joe Budden seats is crazy. Hey, Fat Joe, you gotta relax, brother. Even Jadakiss had the look on his face like, we did not talk about this. This man is really going off script right now. This is nothing but pure elitism because Joe Budden's seats weren't even that bad. But because I was maybe 1 or 2 rows behind courtside seats, you wanna turn my name into a goddamn meme? Now, here's the flip side, you guys. Fat Joe is smart. He knows Joe Budden has the #1 urban podcast right now, and he's most likely going to respond back to Fat Joe, which in turn is going to give Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast a lot of promo. What Fat Joe is hoping by telling this story and by trying to coin the phrase the Joe Budden seats is that it goes viral. They want to get into the podcast algorithm. They want people to talk about them. So why not tell a funny story at Joe Budden's expense? Let's see if Joe Budden is going to take the bait. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys make of Fat Joe trying to coin the phrase the Joe Budden seats? Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.